I'm going to whip through the subject of branding at quite a high level, first of all, and then within the slides I'm going to show you actually what they will be is a sort of takeaway pack of slides that you can use after the event. So I'll share those on SlideShare so you can access them whenever you want. And they're actually something you can work through for your own business if you choose to do so afterwards. I'll also be sharing with you a link to set up a meeting with me at the end so that you can book in a consultation call one-to-one, and that will be free of charge to get you started. Okay, yes, the subject is ensuring your branding and marketing aligns with customers in the new world, obviously whatever that will be coming forward. It's evident that the hospitality sector has been massively impacted over the last 3 or 4 months, and I would argue a little bit towards the end of 2019 as the delays from Brexit kind of started to bite a bit. I certainly saw that in the hotel sector. Cash flows have been massively impacted. But the question here really is, how can you leverage your brand and particularly as the changes have come through for a psychological level for customers, help them to be comfortable to come back through your door. So the way I see it is it's the first customer impression of your company, whatever that impression is, wherever they see you, however they taste your food, touch your plastic bag, everything. It's right the way through to after sales and how you handle them. And then for me, it's the stimulation of the customer's senses, any of the senses. So sight, sound, touch, taste, all those things then create an emotional tie and memory that can be linked back to your brand and your business as long as that is a strong enough experience. I mentioned that I was going to go through 3 kind of pillars today, or a process that you can work through afterwards. I'm breaking this down to 3 key elements. So from this point onwards, there's the slides you can pull down and utilize to actually work through your own business. So it breaks into the big idea, the values of your brand, and the personality, which is the bit that most people tend to see and feel. And I think each of these slides, the best way to look at this is, what was your brand like 4 months ago, and how is it communicating, and what is your brand like now, and how should it be communicating, being sensitive to everything that's going on, of course. So straight in the big idea, the question here is, what are we offering? So fundamentally here, if you're a high-end cuisine from a certain region in India, that's going to be your differentiator. That's what you're going to be offering. If you're a 7-star hotel, that's part of your offering. But then breaking it down into your detailed offering is at the moment what people are missing. And we'll come on to that. And that really is going to be the motivator to promote going into this next period of time and bringing customers back and attracting new ones. So what makes us different from our competitors? This could be a signature dish that you offer, something about your location and proximity, particularly at the moment where people can't travel too far or stay overnight. That could actually be part of your USP, that you're, I don't know, a seafood restaurant that is very close to people that they can get to. And is there something you offer exclusive in any way? Because these are the points to pull forward at the moment in your communications. I'd also argue that at the moment it's pushing forward assurances around cancellations when people have made bookings, making sure people can get their money back if they've paid up front, that sort of thing as well. So how can your business stand out? Or put in other words, I like to say it as, what are you famous for? So what is the one thing that you can really hang your hat on and say, that is the thing that we're most famous for as a business? And that is the thing that actually, again, creates probably the most loyal customers to come back to you again and again. Now, that can be something about the experience. That can be about the way that your staff customer service is handled. It can be the ambience of a restaurant, the location of a hotel close to, say, a beach or something. It's those things that make you stand out the most. At the moment, I think this is a classic question, really, of what do our consumers or customers need. And I think at the moment, there's a lot of desires coming through. I've seen stuff on posts where people are openly stating they're missing. Earlier on, it was like fish and chips, and they're dying for that to be available. I saw someone yesterday who just couldn't wait to get some mussels. because they were actually going to miss their holiday in France this year, but they wanted to have a little bit of that flavour of France. And they went and bought them, and then they posted up about it on social media about how they're amazing. These are the sort of things to motivate people. The funnier one I saw was the 2-hour queue to McDonald's in Chingford, where I live, and people queuing up to get a milkshake. But if that's what people are craving, it just shows the level of determination and desire they have to go and actually have that given to them. A 2-hour wait from McDonald's, I don't know about you, but I probably wouldn't bother. But there you go. I think the other thing that the customers are going to need, certainly in the first weeks of reopening, is going to be getting back together with family and friends and loved ones, and having that experience again of being cool and sharing that. What they're going to find is that's not quite the same as they might expect it when they come back in to what it was before. So I think it's going to get that balance right. It's going to be quite hard. And of course, they will need assurances around things like safety and cleanliness. What I would say on that is be light touch on it. Don't bang on the COVID message too much. I think we're all getting a bit bored of that message, and it's almost becoming a turn-off. But of course, at the same time, people do need an assurance as well. Next area I've asked is really, where is your gap in your market? And as I said, these slides are about really you thinking through, rather than me just telling you the answers here. But the gaps here at the moment might be in terms of playing into their dreams. As I mentioned, people can't get away on holiday. So if you're offering things like Greek food, maybe they were going to Greece on holiday. Maybe you have a venue, or the hotel starts to open up, for example. And then maybe you could run a Greek night. You could, of course, have entertainment mixed in with that, as the lockdown rules allow. So it's going to be that very fine line, I think, to be honest. One of the things I'd also say here, and it might have been said before, is to really narrow that menu down as well. So look at the really key dishes that you offer, the ones that people really love. Narrow your menu down, and start pushing those gently out to customers first in nice engagement posts. But actually, those are the sort of things that people are going to really crave to get back to. And by narrowing your menu down, you're of course reducing the cost to procure. The production actually in the kitchens is more efficient, and there's less wastage. And that in itself then will help with your margin side of the business as well. So although this slide's about gap in the market, I thought I'd just add that as a side note. I suppose the next question is where was your business going? Sorry, not where is it going, but where was it going? And your business vision might have changed massively. It might not have changed at all. But I suggest that there will be an element of change now as to where your business is going into this new world, at least in the next 6 to 12 months, before you can revert back to your original vision or plan. And the innovations you might have been putting in place, things like doing takeaway services, deliveries in different ways, will all come into play there. Now, I've mentioned here about switching emphasis or pivot. I mean, I just mentioned there in passing as well about suddenly doing deliveries where you might not have been. But actually, some businesses are having to change complete direction. They might have taken the opportunity to refurbish during the period. And customers need to be brought along that journey now, nice and gently, in your communications strategy, so that they know actually what's coming up when you're opening. I've seen some hotels and restaurants actually just stop their marketing altogether and not engage with their customers throughout 3 months. And there's two sides to that. One is in terms of the actual algorithms. They don't particularly like that. When you start to remove those posts, they're less effective. And the second side is your customers might just think you're not there anymore. So I would start to warm them up now, offering an existing product to a new market. Again, I mentioned people who might be going on holiday, might normally have gone on holiday abroad. They're not going to be going on holiday abroad in the majority this year. So suddenly you've got a group of customers who would not normally be holidaying or eating heavily across the summer in the UK, who now you can offer your existing products to and build them into that experience, particularly if they're missing their holiday destination, wherever they were going. The use of tone, language, and design. This is more classic kind of branding stuff. The other stuff supports it and underpins it. And here, I think the language needs to be kind of like welcoming, engaging, really get customers to start to talk to you now. You could run competitions on here. You could start to say, basically a competition to win a seat table for 4 for your family to come back in the beginning as soon as you can redeem it and things like that. I'd ask if your personality traits before lockdown the same as they are now. And this is a slide really saying how you can convey your company's personality. So, disruption is really important at the moment. Being first to get the customers through the door is critical. There's an estimate of 16 billion is going to be spent in the first week in hospitality alone of opening up, which is just an insane number. But that share of market is yours if you engage and you're different and you're unique and you're talking to your customers and talking with your customers. So my recovery recipe, if there is such a thing, is that what was then is being disrupted in the middle now by fear, doubt, desires to go and do things, but concern, trust, excitement from consumers and longing to do things again. And I think that's got to be fed into your branding and communication strategy into the new you as you start to open. I'm just going to show you these 2 quick videos now to compare and contrast. They're 2 hotel groups. They're trying to encourage or warm their customers up. I have my very strong views on the 2. I'd like to obviously see what you think, so your comments can be put in there. I really want to hear what you feel about these and which one would encourage you to come back. They're quite different. So let me just play these along. Okay, so that's number 1, and this is a very different approach to encouraging you back from a different hotel group.
Travel. We're taking off to new horizons. We do anything for a little escape. Far, far away. Yum. Just a little whiff of summer, a sprinkle of fresh snow. Who's ready for skiing? A little dip. So refreshing, isn't it? Let's celebrate your limitless creativity, your dreams in a drawer, your positivity, your imagination, your endless passions. As you hit the road again, our hotels are doing more than necessary, so you won't have to travel like this. Or like this. Travelers, our hotels will welcome you back in full safety. All. Ensure you are all safe.
So things to take away, I'll leave you with this slide here in terms of just, look at how you can adapt your communications to now bring customers back into the world. How can you adapt your business if you haven't done so already? And I'm sure some of you will have done. And really looking at how you really do start to engage customers, get them to do something like posting up their favorite dish from your menu, start to get a feeling what it is that they're missing. And what do you think you would do differently to drive more trust, advocacy, and maximize potential in the new world? Branding is a huge subject, but as I said, I'm more than happy to have a call with anyone who's interested. I'm offering half an hour.